That it is a privilege and an honor for all of us to be in the presence of Queen Quet here at this function. You know, I for one know how hard it is to get people together to accomplish something that is related to black culture, black self-awareness, and she has done this. And I think that we need to give her as much respect as we can, because with people like her, you know, what would have happened to our history? So, you know, I want her to know that I certainly appreciate her journey through all the things that she had to go through in order to accomplish the accomplishments that she's made in order to preserve our history. So with that, let me see if I can read this thing. It says resolution number 2011-02. Whereas Sankofa 2011, connecting the culture corridor, plans to include the heritage tour of the Black historical site of Florence County. This tour will connect with the efforts made by the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition by requesting that Florence be included as a Gullah Geechee site along the corridor. And whereas this cooperation with the coalition would give the heritage of black people in Florence, South Carolina, renewed interest as historical places where black people engage in the struggle for identity and peoplehood along with other people of African American descent along the Gullah Geechee corridor. And whereas Gullah Geechee people, though through the efforts of Queen Quet, has become internationally recognized as a nation. The nation has upheld the linguicity and transition of their Western African ancestry. The Gullah Geechee are a people that have lived off the land and water for over 300 years, and their inherent ties to these resources are pervasive throughout their way of life. And whereas these inherent ties exist beyond the corridor into every county in South Carolina, and everywhere there are black people who embrace the culture of the Sea Island. The blacks who reside in Florence, though not along the corridor, are inherently connected to the Gullah Geechee people because we all share the same glorious culture during the time of enslavement. And whereas Gullah Geechee tradition is a celebration of the culture transmitted by people of African American descent to their descendants and other people along the Atlantic coast. Whereas our homeland boundaries are from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, off the coast of North Carolina. Our nation encompasses the Sea Island and 30 to 35 miles inland of the Passage States. Queen Quet, chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and whereas Queen Quet has diligently companioned the conservation of rich Gullah Geechee culture and spanning from the coast of Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Florence, South Carolina hereby support the concept and is proud to be a part of connecting the culture corridor in Florence, South Carolina. Resolved this 14th day of February, this is when we pass this ordinance, the 14th day of February 2011. And we would like to present this to Ms. Carlette Town, the information minister of the Gullah Geechee culture. So Ms. Town, we want to present this to you in honor of Queen Quet, and I, as well as the City of Florence, the Mayor, we thank you for being here, respect what you do, and hopefully that you will come back with us next year to make this a bigger and better affair. Thank you.
All right. I'm Elder Carly Town, Minister of Information for the Gullah Geechee Nation, and I accept this resolution on behalf of the Gullah Geechee Nation and Queen Quet. This is a long time coming. We are so glad that you are in unity with us for the Gullah Geechee Nation. Before I go any further, I would like to let you know that we love you. That's why we are here. Queen Quet has traveled all around the world telling people who we are. She deserves more than just what we give her now, but she deserves to have support from here on and here on forever and ever.
The name of this festival or what? Sankofa. Say them again. Sankofa. Say them like you know. Sankofa. Sankofa. For her Sankofa, the first thing we have to do is have what we got now, or what? Circle. Cause see, look Panya. What that is over there in the corner, by the word, up on the sign. What is? The Sankofa bird. But you see the bird neck like that, backward? The body self make a circle. It means say, go back and fetch it. In Gullah we would say, honey ain't know where honey to dear from, honey ain't going nowhere, honey to gwine. You understand? In English, they would tell you to not be ashamed to go back and get what you've forgotten or left behind. This is how our ancestors did that. Our elders gathered in the evening in the circle. They used to gather in the bush arbor and the brush arbor. And I'm right in an arbor right now with all of these trees and things they around with in a circle. The bud God Mick got the good sense for come land upon the tree and yet it what we the crack we teeth about, but we the walk around. Ain't a paying no attention to nothing going on. But so when you leave here, we don't want you to just go back home and say, I've been to something named Sankofa. You need to be able to tell somebody this is Sankofa. What is that? It's what? Go back and fetch it, or go back and fetch it and get it. But what was the other meaning? Don't be ashamed to go back and get what you forgot or what you left behind. Now one thing about that, and as y'all can see, I speak with my mouth wide open as we see. So y'all don't like me after this, it's alright. You can be upset right now, it can be choke up in your throat, swallow hard, it'll go down. Because one thing that our elders always did is brought the family together. Gullah Geechees were Igbo, Mandinka, Malinke, Yoruba, Gullah, Geechee, Mendi, Temni, Ifik, Ibibio, and many other African ethnic groups. Do you think that they could have survived through the belly of the beast, coming through the Middle Passage, and then being placed on the sea islands, and then in plantations like the Carolina Gold Plantations that created the infrastructure for your town council to even have a town or a county in Florence, South Carolina, if they didn't pull together? Do you think that if they didn't have this circle of connection that they could have done that? Do you think we could be standing here after our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were kidnapped, captured, great-great-great-grandmothers sometimes brutalized, raped, their children taken from them. Sometimes they took their children and drowned them themselves rather than let them be in the belly of the beast in bondage that we call chattel slavery. Do you think we could have survived that if somebody wasn't strong? But you know what happens today? Because we do what y'all were doing earlier. I'm so man or woman enough by myself, I don't have to listen to nobody else. So you go off by yourself. So the rest of the family don't even know where you at. We don't know what you're thinking. We don't know what you're doing. But when you get in them chains that Houdini had up here, you want to send for the pastor. You want to send for the imam. You want to send for the babalao. You want to send for everybody you can find to come help you. You got your great-great-grandma, your mama, everybody who ain't never walked with a man, calling him, say, come get my child. You got somebody running, they never knew where your office was before, but they show up then. Right? But when Well, y'all obviously don't want to listen. Does anybody call them into the circle? Does anybody say, we got to get them brothers together? We got to get them in the midst of the family. We got to get together and join hands. We got to show people who don't want us as African people to survive that we can be unified, that we are not afraid of each other. And by the very sign that some of you won't hold each other's hand, you got a problem. And it's a learned problem. So I'm going to help you go back and fetch your good sense where God began. Back in yonder when we would get together in the bush harbor. Y'all know this your sound? Y'all never heard it at? In Florence? But truth, where y'all heard it at? Stop it, y'all. Y'all don't go to church. Because some of y'all need Jesus out here today. Y'all don't go to church. Y'all know man himself. Ain't no way. And I know he ain't gonna raise his hand. The man when I'm about to tear down that walk tree for, I know he ain't raise his hand up, but yes, hallelujah. Okay. Let me see. Y'all tell me y'all go to church. Lose your hand for a minute. Let me see what y'all can do. Come on. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I want to be buried in my grave and going home to my God and be free. Come on, Florence, let me see what y'all know. Come on, y'all. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over we. And before we be your slaves, we want to be bearing we graves and ride home to we God and be free. So you see, when we would get together in the bush harbor, in the brush harbor, later in the prayer's house, now today in the church, sometimes people come in there because the spirit been low. The people been down and have the heavy burden upon their heart and things like that. But by the time you would get on it together and gather together and put your energy with one another and you join hand with one another, then you can hold up one another. Because it's what our ancestors brought. Knowledge of how to create everything they used. From the sweetgrass baskets to the cast nets to the bateau boat to all of the metal implements that cut down the trees that created the plantations, turned around, took the same wood, made the buildings that other people lived in.
That's right. That's right.
And Gullah Geechees are still in the construction trades, and architectural skills still are passed down through our people today. So never minimize any of that. These are our strengths that other people want to tell you is a weakness. They tell your young brothers and sisters that dealing drugs will get you faster to where you want to go. It'll get you faster to there where they want you to go. Which is back into slavery.
That's it.
Because slavery is not illegal. Slavery was only abolished in the case of, you need to read the amendment. I'm not going to tell you the rest. That's homework.
That's right.
Says except in the case of. And we have more brothers in prison today than we had men enslaved in the 1850s.
Educate them.
So something has to cease.
That's right.
And the only way the body bag goes away and all the nails they want you to lay on and all the blades they want you to cut each other with, the only way that all of that goes away is because we join as a circle. We connect with one another. We make sure that our circle is united, that our circle is not broken. And I see some of y'all knew what to do. You reconnected. And there was some that didn't. That means we'll still lose some. But those who don't want to be lost, you reconnect. Hold on to your family.
That's right.
Hold them up if you see them going down.